So the fundamental role of the government is to provide police and fire and basic services like that. And then
Yes.
additional services can be added. And I would assume, and most people would assume, that they would be added if people vote for that. Now, in this case, we have a team that's really talking with the decision makers in the area. And I guess this is supposed to be a county-funded project. And in order to get that done, that approved, the 3 county commissioners, you being one, would have to approve that, correct?
Well, 2 of the 3.
Okay, 2 of the 3. All right. So you are one of the county commissioners, but it would take 2 out of the 3. So even if you vote against this, and the other 2 commissioners, 2 people can build a $23 or $24 million stadium and say, well, we're going to obligate that.
Worse yet, David, they put the people of the county responsible for that debt.
So it's debt, and there's an ongoing cost in order to keep that afloat.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I've done some numbers on it. What I do know about it is, and it's all been in conversation, so this may have changed, but I believe it's still reliable, but I am fallible, so that's my disclaimer there.
I can verify these tomorrow. I do have an appointment tomorrow morning to meet with the team and one of the promoters to listen to see what they have to say.
If other people want to attend that meeting also, is that something that is open to the public?
No, it's a private meeting over a cup of coffee in a coffee shop.
Okay.
But
all right, that's
I could tape this if you want, but I don't think it'd be legal.
Well,
I'm hoping I get to drink my whole cup of coffee.
I would love to be able to talk with the team general manager directly so that he can explain himself, because we don't want to, I don't like to talk about people without talking to people. You know, here's what I know about the stadium. The private company is supposed to put in 30% of the cost of this stadium. In other words, they're obligated for 30% of the $26 million or so loan. And
you know, David, like you, I used to be a business owner. I would have loved to have the general public come in, and I only had to put up 30% for my trucking company.
yes, I understand. It's
Are you feeling that too? Do you feel the love?
yeah, I understand that you don't think this is a good idea because of the burden it will put and the debt that it'll put. And again, it's another form of deficit spending for some benefit. Some people think, well, hey, I understand that people may want be able to have a stadium for the benefits, and it will help bring more businesses for the hotels.
Jobs.
And
We're looking for jobs, yes, but are they going to be menial jobs? Are they going to be family wage jobs? What are they going to be? I have a tough time other than the construction of the ball field.
which is a temporary thing and it's done. They're trying to get that done right away. But yeah, you're right. If they're going to sell hot dogs and to collect tickets,
I don't see a family wage job here.
That's right. That's probably minimum wage jobs. But basically, the public is going to have to pay for that 70% of the cost of that. I've done a quick calculation here. If let's say that the 70% that the public is liable for, the county has to pay. If you look that up, and I just ran a quick calculation here, you can find amortization schedules on the internet really easy. We'd end up paying about $1.23 million per year of interest and principal payments. That's a typical payment for a $16 million loan.
Wow.
Okay, and that has to be paid. Where it has to come from somewhere. And suppose they charge $15 per ticket, and just say 2,000 tickets per game average, and there's 38 games per year.
I think they're looking for like 20,000. I think that someone said that they were only bringing about 19,000 people to a ball game.
Actually,
Seems like a lot.
It's 10% of that. This is not like PGE Park.
Oh, it's not.
No, this is not a major league. This is like you're talking about. Maybe 1,500 or 1,400. I think that's about their attendance.
I've got bad information already.
Yeah, well, I could be wrong, but I've looked at this, I've studied this, I've read about this, and I'm not an expert, but this is what I've been able to discover. Okay. Probably optimistic or middle of the road anyway. Number of tickets they would sell per game would probably be about 2,000. So if you take 2,000 tickets $15 a ticket, 38 games per season, which is how much they play. Assuming they're all home games here, which I don't expect they will be because nobody else is going to be.
Oh, right.
They travel around. That would be $1.14 million a year in ticket income. Well, that's less than the cost for the loan. The problem with that is you're going to have to pay employees to collect tickets, employees to sell concessions. You're going to have maintenance and insurance and security and all of those other things, and plus pay the ball players and have some profit left for the team. Where's that money coming from? The only place I can imagine it has to come from the sale of concessions. Now, I wonder if the public is liable for 70% of the cost of building the stadium. Is the public also supposed to get 70% of the cost of the concessions?
Those are things that I would probably have worked out. I know we negotiate those things for our fairgrounds, and I could save a lot of money here if we use the amphitheater for the ballpark. We'd have half of it covered, and we might make some money there.
Well,
it's already paid for.
If I understand correctly, this is not something that is going to pay for itself. This is losing money from the very beginning, and plus you add all those other things.
And we know this would fit in with our golf course.
In other words,
our
it's
amphitheater
consistent.
And our new building at the fairgrounds.
With
and
the Hilton.
And this way we can have one more thing to add to that indebtedness.
Okay, so I get you. You're not opposed to bringing in, to this is more deficit spending.
Yes.
Initially to build the thing, and then for the operation every year, for the sake of getting some entertainment. And some people, I can imagine, some people would still want this because, hey, they really like ball games.
I think they're going to argue that we're going to create jobs. They're going to tell me how many jobs they're going to bring into Clark County. We need jobs. Gosh, we need jobs.
We do,
but
publicly funded jobs?
I don't see them here. Well, that's true. I guess it kind of reminds me of what's going on with the I-5 bridge. Why don't we just write a check out to all the labor groups that are supporting the I-5 bridge, and then we could save a whole bunch of money if we just write them a blank check.
I am with you. The deficit spending and the taking on of debt and the operation and maintenance of these additional things that government can do. Well, there was a time when it looked like, hey, there's plenty of funds there, you can do these things, but we're in a different era now. Now, our economy is in trouble.
Everything is down. Our gas consumption, so we don't get gas tax.
People are trying to save money.
Real estate taxes that we rely on so much to pay off the debt of the fairgrounds. All this stuff is down, and sales tax is down. Local government, county government exists.
Because people are tightening their belt and they don't have the money to be able to spend.
As people lay off, they stop spending money. The more they stop spending money, the more people at government have to lay off.
So this is this depends on people having, what's the word for it? It's extra money to be able to do extra entertainment, because nobody's right now paying for ball games in this area, as far as I know.
If I take a family of 4 or 5, you have to have a pretty good job or be very serious about baseball.
Yes.
Because you haven't bought your peanuts and popcorn yet.
Well,
I know beer could be up to $10 here.
And it assumes that people have that kind of money to spend that.
That's
now,
right.
we used to have a major league right across the river at PGE Park. The Beavers,
correct.
right? And the
That's
Timbers, there's this, and they left. Now that we don't have a major league because they couldn't make it even in the heart of Portland. And I wonder, why do we think that if we build a brand new stadium and take that overhead and bring a minor league over here, there's going to be enough money to support that? There's an argument for and against it, but is this really the topic that that the county is focused on to bring jobs? Because this is publicly funded jobs, and there's a huge difference. I think when people confuse privately funded jobs, which is basically private businesses, and publicly funded jobs, which is basically the government saying we're going to take this money out of the economy and we're going to give it to something that's publicly funded. That's a huge difference, because that's not sustainable.
It's amazing the priorities of our government. We're looking for $24 million here to bring this venture in here, and a lot of people support that.
And I
It's
understand that.
amazing. This year alone, I understand we're going to add $37 million to the I-5 bridge study.
That's another, I would love to talk, you know, I feel passionately about that.
I like comparing those dollars. You know, we got
Yes.
37 million to throw into this water hole out here, and yet we have no money for health care here in Clark County, and yet we're considering bonding.
Priorities, that's right. Well, and here's what I'm thinking, Tom, is that this is not something that we're just beginning to talk about and then go to a vote and say, okay, county citizens, is there a majority in this county that want to do this? That's not how this is happening.
They're pushing this down the track pretty fast, and I hope it doesn't come to the responsibility of 3 commissioners having a vote on this. This is huge, and we have trouble building parks for families for entertainment during these tough times, and that's the only entertainment they have.
Right, our
Why would
property
we-
taxes and various forms of taxes
Yes.
are already being paid now to parks, which are free to people.
Yes.
And we can go create our own ball games there, create our own entertainment there, and
We have Little
enjoy
League.
those. We're
Lots
already
of
being
Little Leagues,
yeah,
you
Little
know.
League is great. So if they're in Little League, I expect is playing about the same season as these. So if you can,
The Little League, I think, builds character.
yes.
I think we already have character in bigger leagues, right? So we shouldn't have to pay for that too.